Hi guys, I'm still a little under the weather and I got some bad news today that I'm gonna have to put my beloved cat down, put him to sleep. I'm not doing that until Monday, so I've got a few days to shower him with love, but um, I'm sure the sadness is gonna reflect in my voice and kind of has it a deadpan level right now, and there's not much I can do about that. So I'm going to apologize for that. So let's get started. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. My opinions are just my opinions and not to be considered factual until proven by law enforcement. If you have any credible information concerning Summer Wells, please contact TBI at at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Okay, so today's commentary is going to be about Candus Bly, Outlaw Trucker, The Glarer, and Ernie Shell. Candace made her rounds on live channels last night. She was busy hopping from one another. As far as I know, she started off with Outlaw Trucker's channel on a live panel titled Round 2, Ernie Mac Shell is a Scumbag, where the panel had been speaking out against Ernie Shell, and I will skip past all of that. She begins by saying that she has no other phone but her own, and when she calls Donnie's phone, it goes straight to voicemail. A lady on panel explains that metadata goes to the cloud, and Candace interrupts to say that if TBI, FBI, and the Sheriff's Department comes to her, she will let them have the phone, but that they have not come to her for that. So the panel tells her that she needs to take the phone to TBI or the Sheriff's Department, and she again interrupts, speaking with her face so close to the screen that you can't see her entire face, and she says to the panel that it does not work like that. She goes on to tell the panel that she does not have the phone. She pauses and then says that it is in law enforcement's hands somewhere. Now, Candace, private investigators are not law enforcement. You know that. I know you can't possibly think that. And then she goes on to speak about Ernie and that she isn't about any YouTubers. She is about her daughter. So they go on to tell her that what she is doing might hang her ass, as they put it, and that they're trying to help her. Candace is getting that same story from all directions. My advice would be for Candace to go to TBI, tell them who had the phone, tell when they got the phone, what they did with the phone, and who has the phone now. That is the way to protect yourself, and you should have done that as soon as you were told that information had been downloaded from the phone, just to protect yourself. By not doing so, appears that you have knowledge. Better late than never, Candace. Are you scared that you will be questioned and you can't handle that, and that is why you avoid reaching out to law enforcement and expect them to reach out to you instead? If you told TBI or Lawson that you have a lawyer, no matter if that lawyer is for your boys or not, if you told them that you have a lawyer and was advised not to say anything, they will not reach out to you, Candace. By law, they can't. And that would account for Lawson saying that everyone had lawyered up. You said that you said that. So there you go. Do you understand now? I think you do and have always understood. Anyhow, so Candace goes on to ask the panel how she is going to hang herself when she hasn't done anything wrong. Well, Candace, you're obviously making no effort to help law enforcement find your daughter by any means, and that makes you look guilty. She is asked by the panel if Chris, the private investigator, has the phone, and she said that she's not naming names, that she's not allowed to name names. Candace, the private investigator, cannot tell you who you can or cannot speak with, what you can or cannot do. They work for you if you're paying them. If you're not paying them, then I would be highly suspect of their interest in you and your family and would suspect them of nefarious intentions, none of which would be in your best interest. Candace went on to say that she's not going to let Benny of Benny Keyz of the Hitman Benny Keyz channel bash her and say that she is lying and saying that she has the phone when she doesn't. The panel goes on talking about Ernie Shell again, and she said that she's not worried about him and that she does care about her daughter and that she does love her daughter, that she wishes and prays every day that Summer was back. She said that she loves all of her kids and would not leave them in distress anywhere, and if she knew where Summer was, she would be getting her right now. Candace goes on to say that she's tired of all the YouTubers fighting with one another, and she can't understand why they can't get along and look for Summer and care about her and fuck all the bullshit. Amen, Candace. I agree with you on that one. One person on the panel calls Ernie a predator. She said it differently, but I'm just going to say predator. And Candace said, and she clarified that she does not know for a fact, but how do they know that Ernie does not fit into this somewhere? Candace went on to say that she knows her daughter was kidnapped from her property, and she knows this is a fact. She said that she's known her daughter for 5 years and that she would never leave that property and she would never go down the driveway or away from there at all. However, we do have 2 people who said that they did see Summer down by the road. Jose and Don Sherfy said that. Don Sherfy said that the kids, including Summer, often played by the road. Jose said that Summer wandered away many times. Candace said that somebody had to come up and get her. Candace said that she was never away from the house, that she might have gone out the basement door, but she was never away from the house. Candace said that Summer would not follow one of the puppies. Candace said that none of her kids left the house. Well, Jody Sue said that they did, and that they felt free enough to walk into her cabin and take food from the fridge. Don said that the boys were allowed to leave, but had to have a walkie-talkie and knives with them and to stay together. Candace, you said that too. At this point, Benny Keyz pops up on the panel, and I'm sure that Candace did not expect that to happen. The panel was speaking again about Ernie when Benny came on panel, and Candace was answering them by saying, what person does not have a history or a past? Benny interrupts and says, how do you know she was kidnapped, Candy? Candace said, look, Benny, I ain't talking to you right now because I'm really upset with you right now. Benny replied that he was upset with her too. Candace said, I'll talk to you later, dude. Benny said, you need to turn that phone in. Both of you need to turn that data in. Candace is talking at the same time, and she said, I don't have no phone but my own, and I'm on it right now. Not true. She told us later in Ernie's live that she had an old phone with photos on it. And then there is Don's phone, and what other phone Don may have used, which I am sure he had 2 phones. Candace told Chris McDonough of the interview room that she had 2 phones also. Benny asked Candace why she doesn't have Donnie's phone anymore, and a panel member answered for Candace, saying that she had given the phone to a higher up in the law enforcement. Candace went on to say that it had been 3 weeks ago. Benny said, we talked about the phone 3 weeks ago, Candy, and you had it on the shelf in a plastic bag? Candace said, yeah, that after she spoke with Benny that day, it was gone that day. Benny asked, was it? Candace replied, yeah. You don't talk to me on a regular basis, Benny. You don't know. Benny said to Candace that he sure does know, and Candace said, you sure as fuck don't know. So again, the conversation is interrupted to speak about Ernie, and Benny agreed to what the person on panel had said, and the question was already spoken of earlier, so I'll not repeat it. So Benny goes on to say that it is a race right now, that whoever gets that phone to the TBI is going to be looked at better than the one who didn't. Sorry, but that sentence, he said, sounds funky to me and leads me to believe that Benny for sure thinks that there's something on that phone. Benny said to Candace that she had already looked through the phone that she had told him that she had. Candace begins yelling and said that she did not look at the phone, that Tim Mullen did, and called Benny a dumb fucker and left the panel. Benny was still speaking as she did, and he said, you told somebody that you went through that phone. You also told somebody that you gave that phone away, that you don't have that phone no more, Candy. You need to tell the truth about that phone. Benny said that there was no reason why Candace should leave the panel, that she should have stayed there, and he went on to say that there is something on that phone that she does not want out there. Benny went on to say that there is no way that Candace could know that Summer was kidnapped from the house, that there is no way that she would know that. So Benny remained on the panel, and the panel discussed what Candace had said while on the panel. Candace asked for the link again, and Benny said that he would hop down from the panel and then changed his mind. The glarer pops up on the panel and then asked if he could get Candace's number from Benny, and he would do a live with her, and with no chat, no money made, and it would only be Candace on the panel. Candace was still in chat and gave permission, and Benny shared Candace's phone number with the glarer. Candace did return to panel after Benny left. Benny stayed on for some time while Candace remained in chat. When she did return to panel, she began by saying that she does not give a fuck about Ernie or what Ernie or anyone else says, and that the only thing she gives two fucks about is finding her daughter. She said that she couldn't get on Glarer's live because it asked for her to pay $4.99, and she does not have that kind of money. She went on to say that she does not care about YouTube, all this money. All she cares about is finding her daughter. She continued to say that she does not have no phone but her own. The woman named Dragon went on to say again to Candace that they want to protect her from Ernie. Candace asked if they really want to protect her or just use her for content. Now remember, Candace asked to go on panel, you guys. Dragon wanted to talk about Ernie throughout the whole time Candace was on panel, and Candace wanted to talk about the phone and Summer. Candace again brought it back to Summer, her boys, and said that she does not care about the money or the media, YouTube, or any of that crap. Candace was still upset over Benny saying that Candace has had the phone, that it was bullshit. Candace said that if she had another phone right now, she would call Donnie's number and prove that it goes straight to voicemail. That Donnie hasn't had it in over 3 or 4 years since he has been in jail, and it goes straight to voicemail. And then it gets disconnected because it's a prepaid phone that he doesn't have, and that he doesn't have the same number anymore. She repeats that the phone was given to her, that she does not know what is on the phone, that she did not turn it on, that she did not look at it, and it is not her personal phone. She said that Don might be her husband, but she is not going to go through his personal information. Now I have to say this. I don't care if he's your husband or not. Your daughter is missing, and according to you, you do not know how she got gone. To say that you are unwilling to check your husband's personal information is beyond insane to me. Candace continues to say that she and Don have an understanding not to go through each other's phones. Again, I would say that having a missing daughter negates any misunderstanding, or any understanding, that was made prior to the child going missing, period. Candace said that she got that phone from Tim Mullen and she turned it over and it is not in her hands anymore. Does Candace think that that clears her of any kind of repercussions just because it is not in her hands any longer? Again, she was asked if she gave the phone to TBI and she said higher ups. Now, previously in this conversation, she said that if TBI, FBI, or the Sheriff Department wanted the phone, she would give it to him. So that means that it is none of those three agencies. And how is she going to give something that she says she no longer has? She said that she was told to say higher ups. I can tell you that no law enforcement agency would tell anyone to say anything like that when asked. She goes on to say that everyone is against her and she is doing what she was told to do by the lawyers and everything else. Now, see what she just said? If she said that sentence to the law enforcement, they would immediately stop communication with her and await her lawyers to reach out to them. And notice that she said plural, lawyers. Candace called out Tim Mullen, and note she calls him Tim Mullins with an S on the end of the surname. That's a big source of contention in Facebook groups, guys. And said that Donnie does not want anything to do with that dude. Then Candace said that she talks to Donnie every day. Wait a minute, Candace. I thought you hadn't talked to him because he did not have any money on his books and you could not accept a collect call because you do not have any money. She said that Don is doing well, but depressed about how Candace is being treated because she hasn't done anything wrong. She said that Don had talked to Tim for about 5 minutes this morning. That was yesterday, actually, you guys. And then he called Candace afterwards, and Don accused Tim of being a game player. And that Don wants nothing to do with Tim. Candace said that she doesn't need any YouTubers. She just needs TBI and FBI to do their job. Well, how about you giving them a hand, Candace? Summer is your daughter. You should be knocking on their door every day, telling them everything that comes to your mind instead of going on YouTube panels and talking there. People, including those YouTubers, have been telling you this for over 9 months. It is now 3 months shy of being a year that your baby went missing, according to you, Candace. She went on to say that she does not know what Don is telling TBI, etc., or who or what he did when he was at home. That they don't get into each other's business. Now, isn't that just odd, people? Wouldn't you ask your child's father when he calls if he had talked to anyone, and if so, what was said, even if you knew that that call was being recorded? Especially if both of you are innocent. She also said that she does not know where Donnie was that day that Summer went missing, that she does not keep up with him. But didn't H say that Don calls Candace like every 2 hours when he is at work? So with that, Candace was notified that the Glarer was ready for her to come on his panel, and she left to hop on that live. The Glarer titled his live as The Phone Candace's side of the story. And he did what he had promised. No chat, no money made, and so on. She was not on his live long. The Glarer kept it short and sweet. It began with the Glarer welcoming her, and he explained that chat was off and that there would not be any form of attacking Candace. He tells her that he wants to be fair and get her side of the story since he had already spoken with Benny. He explained that when speaking with Benny and learning about the phone, that it was the one thing that made him go, oh. Candace said that Tim Mullen brought her Don's jacket, his car keys, his wallet, but not his phone. So she said she asked him where was the phone, and he said that Don must have took it into court with him. Candace insisted that in Hawkins County, you can't take phones into the courtroom. The Glare goes on to say to Candace that Benny said that he has a recording of Candace saying that Tim handed Candace the phone from the courthouse 2 weeks later, and Candace agreed. She said 2 weeks after he finally gave the phone up and that he had recorded everything off of Donnie's phone onto his computer, pictures, text message, whatever. Candace said that she then gave the phone to the uppers and has not touched the phone or talked on that phone since. Now note, she says that she has not touched or talked on that phone since she gave it to the uppers. She tells him that she can't tell him who the uppers are. She told him that the phone was wrapped up in a plastic bag when Tim gave it to her. He asked her if it was law enforcement or private investigators that she gave the phone to, and Candace said that she is not legally able to tell him who she gave the phone to. He asked if she was in possession of the data from the phone, and she said that she wasn't. He did not ask her if she had asked for the data, however. He did say that he hoped that the person who has the phone, or Tim Mullen, has given the phone and data to law enforcement, and Candace said that she has not talked to Tim in over 2.5 weeks. He asked Candace if Tim had said that he had turned in the data, and she said that he did not. He asked her why she didn't turn the phone in to TBI, FBI, Hawkins County, etc., and she replied that if any of those asked her for the phone, she would tell them where it is, but they haven't asked her for that. Candace goes on to say that law enforcement can have all of her devices. She does not care. But yet, you guys, she is not offering any of it to them. There is a reason that Tim downloaded Don's information, and I am sure that Candace is smart enough to realize this. This is why everyone can't understand why she is not telling TBI that this happened and get them to find out why. She wants her daughter found, right? She goes on to tell how she came to know Tim and that he came to one of Summer's vigils. She states that she does not trust him, and yet she's not going to TBI about him. I just can't, y'all. She makes zero sense to me. She told the Glare that Don trusts him, but she doesn't. And yet she was just on another panel saying that she had talked to Don the same day as these lives were made, and that Don does not like Tim and wants nothing to do with him. She tells him the same thing that she told the other channel, and that is that she does not get into Don's phone and has no idea what is on it. She does mention that she has an AT&T phone, an Android, and does not understand iPhones. Now note, I'm curious as to when she got that AT&T phone. Candace told Chris McDonough of the interview room that when Summer went missing, that she threw her phone in the back of Don's truck and grabbed her mother's phone because her mother's phone was the only one that was an AT&T phone, and her phone was not AT&T when she called Don to tell him that Summer was missing. She also told Chris that she had an additional phone, so it is possible that she did get an AT&T phone after Summer went missing. She tells the Glare that the boy's lawyer told her not to talk to anyone, so she hasn't talked to anyone. Glare explains that that's what lawyers do. However, that lawyer is for the children and not for anything else, who just probably happened to give her some side advice. I am sure that, as I said, Candace said that in passing to someone in law enforcement, and that is how Lawson came to think that they have a lawyer representing them in Summer's disappearance, and they are waiting for the lawyer to contact them to let them know who's representing them. Candace left the Glare's channel and she hopped over to Ernie Shell's channel. Ernie's live was titled, "Continue to Build Your Empire. Apply yourself and you can do anything. Are you with me?" Ernie and another person had been discussing another case that involves child P. After some time, Candace came on panel, and right away she starts pointing fingers at others. Ernie had asked her how she felt after listening to what had been discussed concerning the other case that the panel had been talking about prior to Candace coming on panel, and what did she think about it. And Candace begins by saying that it makes her think of a lot of stuff. She immediately mentions Jackie Dobbs, the person who bought land next to where Jody Sue Brown had been staying in a cabin on Andy Bernard's parents' property at 125 Ben Hill Road, which was the hill directly across from 110 Ben Hill Road, which is where Summer Wells lived. She then mentions Jody Sue Brown. Candace was asked if, by listening to that other case, what made her think of those two people, and Candace replied that she probably shouldn't be talking about it, but she wonders why Jackie Dobbs was out there camping, whether it was on her property or Jody Sue's. Why was he out there? Now let me step in here for a moment to clear up some things. Jackie Dobbs had bought the land next to the cabin that Jody Sue was staying in. He had not built on it yet, and he was not camping on Andy Bernard's family's land, but his own land that he had just bought. Story has it that Jackie Dobbs and his wife were having issues at the time. Candace goes on to say that she does not know who the fuck Jackie Dobbs is. I am sure that she knows all about Jackie Dobbs, maybe not in the beginning, but Jody Sue did many lives early on her Facebook page, days before Summer went missing and after, where she discussed Jackie Dobbs many, many times. And I am positive that Candace watches all that Jody Sue does. I am sure that Candace is well informed as to who Jackie Dobbs is and all that has ever been said about that man. Candace went on to give information concerning Jackie Dobbs and tells how he bought a tract of land that ended up being the side of a hill, and that he, Jody Sue, and Andy Bernard had been fighting over the land, etc. She says that the Wells property was not up for sale, and she did not know why Jackie Dobbs was in the vicinity. Well, Candace, he just bought land across the road from you. That's why. And here we go again. In the interview, as soon as Candace starts to speak, she is interrupted, and this happens always. Sometimes with stupid questions posed from someone who already knows the answer, or if they don't, they're unable to wait a moment and let her tell what she's trying to tell. So she is asked again who Jackie Dobbs is, and she replies that he is a guy from Georgia that just showed up. Candace went on to say that Jackie Dobbs had camped on that land that he bought at the time that Summer went missing, and that he had been there for 2 or 3 nights, as there were tree-cutting people around at the same time. It was then mentioned in a chat from When Evil Entered, a YouTube channel, that Jackie Dobbs later shaved his facial hair and head. When Evil Entered said that photos exist of Jackie Dobbs and that they could be shared, Candace said that she already had those photos. Candace was lying in bed at this point in the conversation, and it appeared that she was in a child's room by the look of the pillowcase behind her head. She told the Glarer that she was 40 minutes away from him during their interview, and the Glarer said that he was in Knoxville, Tennessee. While talking, Candace puts her finger to her mouth in a hushing motion and tells someone to lie back down. I believe that she was speaking to a child. Whose child, I do not know. Remember, not long ago, she said that she was near Knoxville in a motel room and there was a child sleeping in a bed that she did behind her when she did her live on her YouTube channel. She later deleted that live, but many, including myself, have the entire video screen recorded. Candace had held the phone so close to her face up to this point where only the edge of one cheek was seen on the screen, so she was definitely blocking whoever else was lying in the bed with her. Candace got up, spoke to what I believe was the child by the way she spoke and the tone of her voice, and she went outside to continue talking. But before she went out the door, she told whoever was there, "Lie back down, baby," before she got out of bed. However, she said that Jackie Dobbs went back to Georgia after Summer went missing. According to Jody Sue, he, Andy, and Jody Sue had many disagreements, and Jody Sue was a big thorn in Jackie Dobbs' side. I'm sure that the man decided the whole thing was not worth all the hassle that he was encountering, just having been there only a few days. If the neighbors were that bad, I would have left too, if truth was to be told. She went on to say that she would have to get her old phone because it has the photos of Jackie Dobbs and all that shit, as she put it. So she is asked again if by watching the videos on his channel about the child predators, if it makes her think of anything at all, and she said that it brought her back to Jackie Dobbs and Jody Sue and Andy Bernard and Fred Flintstone in the back of Ben Hill Road. She's referring to Fred Hill. Remember, Fred Hill said that Dawn came to his house the night that Summer went missing, and Dawn was looking for Summer. Dawn also said that he had done so. She first said that all she knows about Fred is that he used to be a dope dealer. She said that she has never been involved with Fred Hill and does not like him. The man on Ernie's panel said, I believe his name was Xander. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's the first time I've ever seen that man and woman who was on the panel with Ernie Shell, and their names were not listed. Xander asked Candace why these people she mentioned bothered her when they were speaking about predators if they were only just dope dealers. Candace did not speak right away, but then said that there was a whole bunch of stuff she could say but can't say because she fears for her life if she did. Ernie comes right out and asks Candace if she ever seen filming or been a part of it, seen it or know about it, and she said that she hadn't. Candace said that she always knew where her kids were. Well, I guess she didn't know where Summer was on the 15th of June, 2020. Ernie asked Candace if Summer was taken from the basement, and Candace said that she really doesn't know and that she really can't tell him the truth about that because she really doesn't know. So what does that mean, Candace? That you can't tell the truth about all that because you don't know? Does that mean you were passed out, drunk, not there? What? You told us that you watched her go inside, that the boys said that she went into the basement, and that you only had your eyes off her a few minutes. So she tells her script again and said these exact words. Me, my daughter Summer, and my mom were out there planting flowers, and she wanted to go back inside with her brothers. So I walked her back over, and I watched her go into the kitchen with her brothers, and the next thing I know, I went to fix my mom's knee brace, and I come back over, and Summer was gone. Candace was again asked what made her think of Dobbs when they had been talking about a porn producer, and Candace said because he had gone back to Georgia and shaved off all his hair, and after Dobbs went home, he and his wife divorced, and Candace did not know why. I would venture to say that they were probably already having problems, and that the failed land deal was probably the final straw. Ernie brought up Fred Hill again, and Candace said that she did not want to talk about Fred Hill, and she again said that she does not know Fred, and then she says that she's not going to say it because she doesn't want it out there. But then she goes further to say that she knows a lot of stuff that Fred Hill has gotten away with, and Candace said that she is scared of Fred Hill. Personally, I feel that all communication should have stopped at that point concerning Fred, once Candace said that she was scared. She went on to say that wouldn't anyone be scared of Fred Hill? Well, apparently Jody Sue isn't scared of Fred Hill, but apparently both Candace and Dawn are. Remember the interview with Brian Inton of News Nation? When Brian asked Dawn if there were any bad friends that Candace had, Dawn had said, "Oh, we can't go there." I remember that. Anyhow, so the panel pipes up that they were not scared of Fred. Now that's easy to say if you don't live down there. Candace said that he could come up there and shoot you and not even get in trouble for it. So there was a whole lot of big talk, and then after that, Candace said that Fred is a very dangerous guy. And I believe that is the first thing that Candace has ever said that I totally believe her on. Her whole demeanor when speaking of him proved that to me. And yes, I know she's a good actress, but I would lie down all that I own on a table that she just told you all the truth in that one statement. At this point, Candace brings up Jody Sue and said that she and Jody Sue have talked many times and that Jody Sue changes her story every time she speaks to Candace. Candace gives an example by saying that Jody Sue said that she was down at the bottom after she heard someone scream, and Candace said that Jody Sue was never at the bottom of the driveway. Candace said that there was no scream and that Jody Sue is making all that shit up. The woman on the panel said it was convenient that Jody Sue came out with that so much later, and Candace interrupts to say that Jody Sue and her kids made all that shit up later in the description to fit her narrative, and she does not know why Jody Sue is doing it unless it's for attention and views. Ernie asked if Candace could pick two people, who would she pick? And Candace said that she can't at this point. And when asked if it is because she fears for her life, if she were to say it, she replied, "Yeah, maybe." Candace went on to say that Summer was wearing gray sweatpants and a pink t-shirt when she went missing. Now this concerns me even more, to know that the pants that Summer wore that day were sweatpants. I had thought that they were lightweight pants sold during warm months. So that means that Summer was wearing sweatpants, a shirt, and a zipped-up long-sleeved jacket while sitting in that car that day for all those hours. They went on to discuss a couple of YouTube channels, and I will not repeat what was said about either of those channels, other than to say that Candace believes that PG of Prayer Garden of America had the hots for Dawn, and Dawn wanted nothing to do with her in that way, and so PG is so pissed off, and that is why she acts the way that she does now. She said that PG got in contact with Dawn about 4 weeks or maybe sooner after Summer went missing. Personally, I have my own opinions on what all that is about, but I'll refrain from discussing it here. Ernie asked Candace again if Dawn had any deals that might have included Summer, and Candace said that she did not know and couldn't answer that. Jose was brought up, and then it went into the whole Allie, Jose, Candace thing that we've already discussed. Candace stated that she has not done a street drug since she was 14 years old. Now, you guys, do you have your boots on? Because it just got deep around here. There went all your credibility, Candace. Dang, girl. Candace said that she was part of a carnival group out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, and was 14 years old at the time. Well, guys, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. I very much appreciate it. Have a safe night, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye for now.